I discovered that I was HIV positive in 1992, January, and that was after I had lost my wife to HIV. At that time, they were telling us that when you have AIDS, you only live for 3 years maximum. And also at that time, this is a disease which was associated with sexual immorality and prostitution and sexual deviance. So for the religious leader in Africa to say I'm HIV positive was like, you are not saying the truth. I gave messages, first of all, to let people know that everyone is vulnerable to HIV. I tried to dispel the myth that HIV is a disease of homosexuals, a disease of prostitutes, a disease of truck drivers.
Hey, man of God, what are you going to do?
Of course, the biggest issue was whether I should disclose or whether I should keep the news to myself. So the biggest thing I had to pray to God was to give me courage to speak out. And I did speak out, and since then I have lived publicly with my HIV status. I was faced a stigma that comes from people saying, how come you are positive when you are a priest? People confuse faithfulness with safeness. What causes HIV is not the unlawfulness of the sexual act. What causes HIV is the unsafeness of the act. That distinction is blurring of issues is the one which still causes the stigma around HIV, and you see people hesitating to say I'm positive, because if they say I'm positive, then it will be like they are admitting of their sexual past. People will be pointing fingers, oh, we thought he was morally upright. But my spiritual status will tell you very little of my HIV status. And my HIV status will tell you nothing about my spiritual status. People should separate that. We decided that we should focus on empowering and training the orphans and the other vulnerable children, helping them with vocational skills training so that they can get a hands-on self-employment, reducing their vulnerability to HIV, because once you are poverty-stricken, your powers to say no to unsafe sex is limited. But once you have an income and you believe in yourself, you have hope for tomorrow. We are training these young people, not just to have vocational skills, but to be broad-minded and have the competence to be engaged at community level or in every sector. And so that's what we decided to do through the Hope Institute for Transformational Leadership and Development. And every year we graduate over 150 children.
If I must have sex, then that sex must not mix the body fluids. It's really dangerous. Get the point? Huh?
If we are to end AIDS before AIDS ends us, we need a big movement, because right now, the members of parliament, for example, they write their manifestos and you see nothing, very little about HIV. But now, through the mobilization of ourselves, we are saying, when people are looking for votes, let's ask them, what are you going to do to reduce the stigma and the shame and the denial around AIDS? And what are you doing to multiply the safe practices that include the abstinence, the faithfulness, the condom use, the mother-to-child prevention, the safe circumcision, safe microbicides research, all those issues. You really need ownership. You need to move away from depending on donors. You need to have community-grown responses at family level, at community level. And the Hope Institute is serving in that direction.